fam, the spookiest time of year has returned. It's Halloween Horror Night season, baby. I am here at Universal Orlando to take you with me into all 10 houses, including Stranger Things, including Last of Us, Chucky, Universal Monsters. There's 5 all-new scare zones. We're gonna try some of the crazy treats. This is my favorite event of the Halloween season, so meet me in the fog. But before we get into the fog, let me remind you that if you are used to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, if gore is not your thing, maybe this isn't the video for you. Halloween Horror Nights is very much the opposite of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, so just keep that in mind. Content warning, especially if you've got little ones, or if you don't want spoilers for some of these new houses, maybe this isn't your video. Please enjoy Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party video. Halloween Horror Nights is the premier Halloween event here in Orlando. It takes place at Universal Studios Park, kicks off on September 1st, runs all the way through November 4th this year. That's the longest Halloween Horror Nights on record. Now, I do want to issue a little bit of a disclaimer. This video is going to be shot over 2 different nights. The first night, we are guests of Universal's. They invited us as media guests to be able to come in, check out all the houses. We're going to be able to film inside them, which you're normally not able to do. However, the second night, when Alan joins me, we're going to be checking out some of the snacks and the scare zones and a few other things. That is with our frequent fear passes. We purchased those, paid for those, but always just want to disclose when we are being hosted. And of course, that never changes our opinions. We will be honest with you about the experience. But enough talking. There's Death Eaters, there's Eddie Munson, there's clickers. Let's get in there. Here we go. So, as part of the media event, we are going on an RIP tour, which is something anybody can book. It's their version of a VIP tour, very fun pun, but it basically gets you with a small group and a tour guide that puts you at the front of the queues for all the houses. Trying to find light, and it's by the glow of the Coke Freestyle. Let's talk about the houses. There are 10 all new haunted houses this year at Halloween Horror Nights Orlando. 5 of them are based on existing IP intellectual property like Stranger Things, Last of Us, the game, Chucky, and then 5 of them are original concepts. So we're gonna go head through all 10 of them. I'm super excited, and I'm gonna be rating each of them on my 1 to 10 Lil Boo scale. Lil Boo is one of the icons of Halloween Horror Nights. He's a cute little pumpkin head, and that is gonna incorporate how scary it is, how much fun it is, how much I love the house. So I'm excited. Let's see what our first one is. I know you can't see me, and that's okay, but hopefully you can hear my voice. We're gonna look for the light because the first house we're going to tonight is the Last of Us house. Y'all, I am so excited. Now, it is based on the game, not the show, which is what the show's based on, so it's kind of full circle. But Neil Druckmann actually came to the media event and surprised everyone and talked about the house. So here's a little bit of that.
The collaboration has been such an honor and a pleasure. It's like, really we spent some time outlining the sequence. We really want the guests to go on a journey, like Mike was saying, with Ellie and Joel, going through Pittsburgh, crashing at the beginning, making your way through it, through the sewers, ending with the suburbs. I'm spoiling too much of it.
No. You can say anything you want, Neil.
But again, on behalf of everybody at Naughty Dog, this has been such an honor. It's been so cool. I got to see it yesterday. It's freaking awesome. If you're a fan of the game, you're going to be inside the game.
I'm so excited. I loved the show. I'm also terrified because clickers are a nightmare. So we'll see how many little boos this gets. And if you're unfamiliar with The Last of Us, if you did not watch the show, first of all, watch it. It's amazing. Second of all, The Last of Us is a somewhat of a zombie story, post-apocalyptic story, but it's really the story of humans. And we are going to follow Joel and Ellie, who are the main characters in the story, through their adventure as they are trying to endure and survive. So, I'm excited to see these mushroom monsters, but I'm also so scared. Y'all, I'm so excited and so scared. You can hear the music. It's the same music in the show as in the game, that like guitar strumming, and our amazing tour guide, Lindsay, just told us a few things to look out for if you have the focus to look out in the house. For starters, along the side of the house, you're gonna see things that in the game you'd wanna pick up. Bottles, notes, things that would help you throughout the game. Also, it starts in Pittsburgh, which is a main component of the game. We're following Joel, and y'all, my heart rate is going 1,000 miles an hour. Okay, here we go.
Still alive!
Oh my god, the noise. Oh no.
Keep going. I'm coming.
Sorry, Joel. Okay, the house is awesome. The house is awesome. I don't know that it's the scariest house I've ever been into. I'm gonna give it if I was ranking it on scare alone, I would give it like an 8, but I'm giving it a solid 9 on the little boo scale. The clickers and the bloaters look amazing. It was awesome. Wow. I'm so impressed by that house. Also, our guide just let us know that Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson, the original Joel and Ellie from the video game, actually recorded special lines for the haunted house here. It was awesome. If you're a Last of Us fan, show or game, you gotta check it out. But now we're headed into Universal Monsters Unmasked. They usually do a house themed to the Universal Monsters. They are the OGs after all, but we are mixing it up this year. No Dracula, no Wolfman. Instead, we've got Phantom of the Opera, we've got the Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Invisible Man, and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We're headed into the catacombs of Paris. Let's go.
It's a massacre. Chocolate, look.
Oh my god, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. All right, that one was awesome. I actually think that was scarier than Last of Us. There were some really awesome moments with all the different monsters, especially at the end when all of them come at ya. On the little boo scale, I'm giving it 8.75. I think this house was awesome. I think the scares were amazing. Definitely gonna be a favorite, but I think the Last of Us theming just edges it out just a scooch. We're headed to our next house. This is the Darkest Deal. This is one of the original stories this year by Universal. It tells the tale of Pine Straw Spruce, an aspiring musician, and we are part of his band. He makes a deal with the Collector, who says he'll give him fame, fortune, and everything he's ever wanted. But it turns out the Collector has quite a debt in mind, your soul. Here we go into the Darkest Deal, and our guide told us to listen to the music because it starts very bluesy because Pine Straw is a blues singer, and then it gets much more electric as the Collector comes to claim his soul.
And become famous.
I give what you promise. You give me your soul. The deal is done.
Not the first.
You're not the first. It's anything but story. Work this way.
Oh my god, this is a nightmare. Woo! There were a couple moments in there where I got by those, by the Collector and his soul-sucking monsters. Let's see though. I'm gonna give that one a 7.5 on the little boo scale. I definitely screamed. I enjoyed myself, but it's definitely not as fun themed as the last two. And while I got a few times, overall, I think the other ones have been better. But now we're going straight into our next house. Next up, Dr. Oddfellow's Twisted Origins. Now, Dr. Oddfellow is the host of Halloween Horror Nights this year, and he is a spooky, scary, shape-shifting doctor that appears not only in this house, but in all 5 of the scare zones. So here at Dr. Oddfellow's Twisted Origins, we are headed to the circus You know what, we're a little bored with what we have to see, but Dr. Oddfellow has a special act in store, and our guide just told us to keep a lookout because Horror Nights fans might notice some ties to Jack the Clown, whose origin story starts with Dr. Oddfellow when he's named Jack Schmidt and he works for him at the circus. So I'm excited to see what I can find. Also, she let us know that this one features lots of clowns and it's really claustrophobic. So fair warning, I'm already stressed because clowns don't love that.
Welcome to Oddfellow.
Thank you.
Striking.
On this night, feel the power of your distorted soul.
Oh, I hate this. I hate this. There's so many clowns in here.
And you won. Kill them.
Dr. Oddfellow's house is fantastic. It's so scary, especially if you don't like clowns. It's very tight and there's lots of like curtains that hang down. Dr. Oddfellow looks amazing. And if you are a fan of lore, I recommend listening to the Discover Universal podcast because they go into the whole backstory of Dr. Oddfellow and his origins with Jack. And I listened to all the episodes coming into tonight so I could understand his lore and backstory, and it really enhances things, so I highly recommend that. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna give that one an 8.5, Lil Booze. I still think I like Universal Monsters a little bit better, but that house is awesome and I screamed many times. That lion puppet was awesome, right? I hear chainsaws and I see the Mel's Die In sign. It is officially Halloween Horror Nights. We are headed to our next house, Exorcist Believer. Now what's fun about this house is it's basically a giant trailer for the movie because this movie has not come out yet. It comes out mid-October. Of course, it does have ties to the original Exorcist film, which is one of my favorite horror films. Exorcist Believer tells the story of two young girls who go off to college, and when they come home, they're not quite right. And so their parents enlist the help of someone who can understand Reagan's mother from the original. So here we go. Also, our tour guide warned us that there are smells in this house. So, ooh, the Exorcist music. Well, the first thing I can tell you is that the scent is supposed to be poopy. Didn't care for that. I would say on the Lil Boo scale, I give Exorcist Believer an 8. I got scared the most, and even though I've not seen the film, I felt very reminiscent of the original Exorcist. It had the music playing. It was definitely super scary, definitely very interactive. I think I screamed the loudest in that house so far. Next up, Dueling Dragons Choose Thy Fate. This is definitely one of those hyped up houses this year because it is based on the attraction Dueling Dragons that used to sit in Islands of Adventure, where now sits my favorite ride, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM. And what's really cool, our guide just told us, is that the designers from Universal Creative from that attraction that both opened opened and closed Dueling Dragons worked on this house, and they added in details like the claw marks above the sign, choose thy fate, when you go into the house. Because yes, you do get to decide where you go, fire or ice. The story of Dueling Dragons Choose Thy Fate is that Merlin the wizard, he's a Slytherin by the way, check it, it's canon. He is trapped inside an oak tree, but he has cast a spell, and two different warlocks are fighting for that spell, fighting for the power, and they cast their whole armies behind them. Of course, those two warlocks are going to end up being dragons, as warlocks do. So it's basically fire dragon or ice dragon, and when you get to the Choose Thy Fate section, you get to decide which side you're going on. I haven't decided if I'm going to choose Pyrock or Blizzrock. Those are the two dragons, fire and ice. Which side I'm going to go yet? But I'm going to go with my gut. Typically, I tend to enjoy hot climates more than cold, but we'll see.
I entreat.
Oh my god, this is beautiful.
Protectors of the realm, you have saved the kingdom.
Thank you, Merlin. Okay, I give Dueling Dragons an 8. Absolutely stunning house. The dragons at the end are gorgeous. The effects are beautiful. The night monsters are definitely giving Game of Thrones. I also think it's the least scary house I've been into. I also think if you do not care about Dueling Dragons, if that IP, if that lore, if you're not a diehard Universal fan who has connections to that, it's probably gonna be not high on your list, but I was really excited. Again, gorgeous house. I chose ice, giving it an 8. Now we are headed to Yeti Campground Kills, which is the third iteration of the Yeti making his appearance at Halloween Horror Nights, and our guide just told us the saddest story. Basically, we're in the 1950s, we're at a campground, and there's a little kid named Billy, and Billy is a little poop, and Billy beats up and kills a baby Yeti. Not cool, Billy, because now Mom's coming after us, so. Oh no! Well, Billy should have been. No, your son sucks! Oh dear! This is amazing though. Oh no, that's bad. Oh my god! 9. Yes, on par with Last of Us. That is my favorite of the original houses. Wow, that was so fun. I loved the theming. I loved that it was kind of campy, literally. Anyway, that one was great. I scared a bunch of times. It was beautiful. That is an awesome house. Headed to our last of the original houses for this year, Blood Moon Dark Offerings. This is taking us back to colonial times, 1600s, where there is a cult that has to sacrifice people to the Blood Moon. Let's see if I get sacrificed or not. My luck's been pretty good so far, but it's probably gonna run out soon, if I had to guess. Also, Stranger Things. We still haven't done it yet. We're saving it. And Chucky, which I'm also very excited about, coming up. But first, Blood Moon. Oh dear. Ooh, that's a nice one. Which one's real? One of them's real. One of them's gonna be real. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! One of them's real. One of them's gonna jump at me. One of them's gonna. Woo, y'all! That one got me so good. You know when there are like a bunch of the same thing in a room, like it was Michael Myers last year with Halloween, you're like, one of them's gonna get me and I don't know which one. It terrifies me. And this had that. I jumped so many times. I actually really liked the theme of this one too. I'm gonna give it an 8.25. I thought it was really fun. But kind of a nightmare. Also, I think it's time. Okay, I was a tease. Taking a little break before our last two houses, Chucky and Stranger Things. And because I'm on an RIP tour, which is the Horror Nights version of a VIP tour, we are at one of the RIP tour exclusive bars, and y'all check the view out. We are on top of Jimmy Fallon right now, and we have this incredible view of Rip Ride Rocket right here. Guests waiting in line for the different houses. You can see Minion Land. Super, super cool. And again, if you book an RIP tour, which there's versions that are private and not private, price will vary. It's definitely an expensive way to enjoy Horror Nights, but if you want to get through all the houses without worrying, it can be a good option. That, or I would definitely recommend Express Pass. But anyway, I have picked up the Original Sin Crimson Chaos Cider. This is a cider made exclusively for Halloween Horror Nights, so let's try it. Cheers! Ooh! Sometimes I don't love cider because it's too sweet and too artificially tasting, but that's delicious. It's definitely sweet. I probably couldn't drink more than one of these, but it's a little bit tart. It's a little bit crisp. It doesn't feel artificially sweet. If you're a cider drinker, I'm sure you'll enjoy this one. And this is available more places than just up here. It's available at a lot of the food kiosks and bars around the park. But isn't it cool that they made a cider just for this event? It's giving me the courage to face Vecna. It is time, y'all. We are headed to Stranger Things. It's based off Stranger Things 4, the most recent season. I'm so excited. This is one of my favorite shows ever. If you've been following me on Instagram since like the inception of Molly McAwesome, one of the very first things I shared was like real-time reactions to Stranger Things like at 4 a.m. It's a very full circle moment. My hopes are very high for this house. Let's go to Hawkins. Y'all, I want to throw up. I'm so excited. I might cry. This show is so good. I want to hear the clock. I want to hear Running Up That Hill. I want to hear Metallica. I want to hear Eddie Munson. I'm so ready.
Wake up, Chrissy! Chrissy, wake up!
Oh my God.
Chrissy, wake up now! Chrissy!
Hey, Max. Oh God.
Months, years, decades into life. Faded, lesser copy of the one before. Wake up, eat, work, sleep, reproduce, and die. Years,
it's so stupid to cry over Halloween Horror Nights house, but I love this story so much, and it's amazing. You are living in season 4 of Stranger Things. It is scary, it is perfect, the detail. Best house ever. I don't think anything's gonna top that last house, but we are headed to house number 10, Chucky Ultimate Kill Count. Now the theme to this one's actually pretty funny. Basically, Universal decided they wanted to do a Chucky themed house, and who better to consult with than Chucky himself. And Chucky got here and was like, wait, you're not actually murdering people? I'm gonna put the horror back in Halloween Horror Nights, and now he's gonna murder people as they go through the house. So I was just told by my guide that it's based on the ultimate kills from Child's Play 2, Child's Play 3, and the sci-fi show, which I'm actually weirdly a big fan of. Again, I don't think it's gonna top Stranger Things, but I'm excited to see how they make Chucky come to life. Wanna play? Friend till the end. I love that even though we're going into Chucky's house, it's located inside Fast and the Furious Supercharged, and we still get a nod from the family. I think that's nice. Oh my god! Oh, Chucky!
In there. Don't even think about it. Come on. Don't with it, Chuck.
Oh no! That is Noah!
I don't trust anyone. No one.
All right, Chucky Ultimate Kill Count. Listen, I enjoyed it as someone who just watched the show. It was fun to be like, oh, that's Devon Sawa getting murdered, and that's Devon Sawa getting murdered, and that's Devon Sawa getting murdered. But if you haven't seen the show, if you're not a fan of the Chucky IP, I don't think this is gonna be your favorite one. There's a lot of TV screens, which some people aren't liking. What I am liking though, I was very impressed with the Chucky dolls. They're really, really cool. Especially the first one is very realistic and very scary. But overall, I'm still giving Chucky Kill Count a 7. So without further ado, I'm gonna do 2 different rankings for the Halloween Horror Nights houses. I feel like it's just not fair to do one because some of them were super, super scary, scared me more than others, but some of them were more beautiful or more exciting, or I enjoyed going through them more. So we're gonna do a scary ranking and then also just an overall vibes ranking. We are gonna start with the scary ranking, starting with the least scary to the most scary. And I do wanna asterisk, if you've been to HHN, you know this, there can be such a thing as a good run and a bad run. It just depends on the timing of when you're walking through which scares you get. But in my experience tonight, least scary to most scary is as follows. Number 10, Dueling Dragons, Choose Thy Fate. Number 9, Chucky, Ultimate Kill Count. Number 8, The Darkest Deal. Number 7, Yeti, Campground Kills. Number 6, Universal Monsters Unmasked. Number 5, Stranger Things 4. Number 4, Last of Us. Number 3, Dr. Oddfellow's Twisted Origins. Number 2, Blood Moon, Dark Offerings. And number 1, Exorcist Believer. Now let's talk about overall ranking. This isn't just scare, this is overall theme, decoration, set, just the vibe inside the house. And honestly, all the houses are awesome this year. There isn't one house that I went through that I was like, I could take or leave that one. But you know what, we gotta rank them. Let's start with the bottom and end at the top yet again. Number 10, The Darkest Deal. Number 9, Chucky, Ultimate Kill Count. And I think those would be flip-flopped if you're not a fan of the Chucky IP, especially the show. Number 8, The Exorcist, Believer. Number 7, a hot take, Dueling Dragons, Choose Thy Fate. I think you really have to be into that lore to enjoy it, and I really did. It's a beautiful house, but I just didn't like it as much as some of the other ones. You are gonna see a lot of people have that one top their list, and it is a great house, but it just didn't hit as much for me as our next one, which is Blood Moon, Dark Offerings. In number 5, we've got Dr. Oddfellow's Twisted Origins. In number 4, Universal Monsters Unmasked. Number 3, Yeti, Campground Kills. Number 2, The Last of Us. And number 1, in no surprise, Stranger Things 4. Now that's just my list. I'm looking forward to seeing what you think is the best house at Halloween Horror Nights. But again, all these houses are awesome. They're gonna have some long lines, especially at Stranger Things and Last of Us, so get that express pass or do Stay and Scream. If you can splurge for it, do the RIP tour. Hopefully they'll drop a little bit at night, but I've still got a little more time here on first night of Halloween Horror Nights, so let's go see if the Death Eaters are out. For the first time ever, instead of roaming Hogsmeade at Islands of Adventure, the Death Eaters are out in Diagon Alley as part of Halloween Horror Nights. And we're gonna go see if they're still here. I don't know how I feel about this because normally I like to get a pumpkin beer and hide in Diagon Alley from the scariness as like a nice reprieve, but I feel like it'll be really cool to see the Death Eaters. That said, I don't know if they're here this late, but I love being in Diagon Alley this late because look at it. All right, well, I don't see any Death Eaters out here, but if I was a Death Eater, I know where I'd be hanging out, and it's Nocturne Alley. So we're gonna go down here, see if they're here. They might not stay out the full time of Halloween Horror Nights, or since this is a brand new thing, they may not have the set schedule finalized. But it is so fun to walk back through here regardless. Definitely Halloweeny. Behind the scenes, I was just recording a voice memo for our editor about how we can probably cut this whole thing about how Diagon Alley doesn't have the Death Eaters this late and blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, holy expletive, this is so beautiful. I can't help but stand here and shoot this. Well, it looks like the Death Eaters aren't here super, super late, so if you do want to enjoy a basically empty Diagon Alley, you still can, which I'm really excited about because this is, again, one of my favorite places to come during Horror Nights. I usually get a pumpkin beer and I just enjoy being in here where it's quiet and it's just my favorite land. So looks like you can still do that later at night. Oh, hold on. Anyway, I think our dragon here gave us the perfect finale tonight. I will be back here tomorrow night, which is just a few moments away in Videoland with Alan, so we can try a bunch of the different snacks, go through the scare zones, and catch anything we didn't get to do tonight. Huge, huge thank you to Universal for inviting us out to the media event for night 1 of Halloween Horror Nights, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, I lied. I thought I was leaving for the night, and then I saw the pop-up Megan Horde. It is a random like flash mob of Megan dolls from the movie Megan. They're not scheduled anywhere. They just literally pop up and dance, and then you can get pictures with them. So I had to share that, obviously. Super creepy. Okay, but now I really am leaving unless, you know, a pop-up of like Chucky dolls shows up or something. So see you tomorrow.
Oh, hi.
We in here for night 2. It's definitely really crowded this weekend. It's first weekend, it's a Saturday right now, but we are headed into the first scare zone. This is Dr. Oddfellow's collection of horrors. The scare zones are 5 different locations around the park full of creatures and spooky things, and what's really fun this year is that they're all themed to the host of this year's event, Dr. Oddfellow. He is a shape-shifting vampire evil spirit who is out to collect your souls. And you might find him here and many places around the event. We are officially in the fog. Oh, okay, hello. We'll be back to check out the scare zones when it's nighttime, when they're really spooky scary. But for now, first things first. There are over 100 specialty eats and drinks around Halloween Horror Nights. Think of Food and Wine Festival, but evil. And what's really fun is the booze and the snacks are themed to the different places. So we're gonna have Stranger Things snacks, we're gonna have Last of Us snacks, we are gonna have Chucky snacks. Wait till you see the Chucky popcorn bucket, it's insane. But let's grab our first snack. Picked up our first items from the Stellar Bar, which is the first of the Stranger Things themed locations. This is the Cheddar Jalapeno Hellfire Club. It's a jalapeno cheddar bread with shaved pork shoulder, crispy potato sticks, spicy mayonnaise, pineapple chutney, and Munster cheese. Sounds amazing. And then this sounds like it's a bunch of flavors, so we're trying it. It's the Peanut Butter Smuggler. It's New Amsterdam vodka, hot honey, lime juice, raspberry, and peanut butter syrup. You can also get this non-alcoholic, but I feel like I'm gonna need the vodka to curb the rest of everything going on here. And What have you done?
I got Dr. Oddfellow's Carnival dog. And that is a red hot dog in a confetti hot dog bun with Kool-Aid pickles, bubblegum mustard, and potato sticks. Let's give it a shot.
This is hard to pick up, but it's good thick bread to start. All right, let's get in here.
Nailed it.
That is delicious. First of all, as a spice lover, I love that there's actually a little bit of subtle heat because of the bread, which is nice and thick and toasty and buttery as well. The pork shoulder is cooked perfectly. It's nice and moist. A little crunch from the potato sticks. Love the cheese. Can't really taste the pineapple, but this is awesome and a good shareable. Nice hearty dish before I drink this thing. It's the peanut butter smuggler, which is a nod to the fact that Yuri, the pilot in season 4 of Stranger Things, is often smuggling peanut butter back and forth. It's a whole plot line in the show, and I'm just delaying this. There's like 7 flavors in this. You gotta try this. At the beginning, it tastes like lime and vodka, and then all of a sudden it's like peanut butter. I don't really taste the hot honey.
I weirdly taste chocolate.
Yeah. I don't know. That's not something I need to drink again. It's better than I thought it would be, but I'm gonna stick probably to pumpkin beer.
Yeah, that it has a little bit of spice on the back end, but
It's pretty sweet.
it's very sweet at the start.
It's just a lot of flavors.
It's a lot going on. Right off the bat, there's a lot of bun. All right. There's a lot of bread. I think that's my first note, is there's a whole lot of bread, and there's not a lot of flavor to it. This is a very interesting and weird balance of like meaty, salty, crunchy, sweet, and sour. It's got all of those flavors in it. There's so much going on, I'm having a lot of trouble placing exactly where those flavors are. I'll tell you right now, the Kool-Aid pickle, I'd probably eat on its own. The bubblegum mustard, I'd probably leave out again in the future. Yeah, if you removed a lot of the bread, like I don't need to eat this again. This is a novelty item. What a wild ride this is. I will literally buy you a pumpkin beer if you try this.
In a blinky cup?
In a blinky cup.
The things I will do for pumpkin beer. And it's really because I don't want to wait in the line. I like to wait in the line. Oddly, not the worst hot dog I've ever had. And I actually think the worst part of it is the bubblegum mustard. It tastes like literally bubblegum. Like it tastes like a bubblegum lollipop.
Like a bazooka?
Yum. Yeah, it tastes like bazooka bubblegum, and it's not for me.
I genuinely think that if they removed the bazooka bubblegum mustard and had it be like a spicy mustard, that'd be pretty palatable, because the Kool-Aid pickles, I think, are a winner. It's weird. It works.
Yeah, I don't hate those.
Yeah.
Like Alan said, that's a novelty item, one I don't need to eat again. Not just because it's a hot dog, but I want the beer now. Well, joke's on me, because I forgot here at Universal, you can only get 1 drink per ID. So I had to wait in line with Alan for these anyway, and which means I ate a hot dog for nothing.
I mean, you still got the beer out of the deal.
Could have gotten my own beer from the beginning.
The Blinking Cups are a tradition here at Halloween Horror Nights, and you can find them at many of the different bars across the event, along with all these delightful beers.
We went to the bar right here in Gramercy Park, which has different beers and wines and drinks on tap. Also, a lot of the different food kiosks have specialty beverages on tap. And what's great about these is when you purchase it for the first time, it's a little bit more expensive. Like it was $16.50 versus buying a single serve beer, which was $12.50. But you can refill it around at all these different places with the different beers and cocktails, and it's less expensive. In fact, you could refill this delicious pumpkin beer for $12.50, 20 ounce in my Blinky cup versus a 12 ounce single serve. So it is math, it's basically free beer.
You know what? On this one, I'll agree with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers. And a darn tasty pumpkin beer it is. Best time of year right now, y'all.
And here we have the influencer approaching with her 2 potatoes. Not 1 twisted tater, but 2. What an incredible specimen as she has brought delightful treats to be enjoyed.
Our next stop, we went to the Fedra booth from The Last of Us. I absolutely love the theming on this booth. How militaristic it looks with the Firefly symbols on the top and the Fedra boxes. And the fact that we have the mushrooms everywhere for like the twisted taters and the cordyceps corn dog. The theming on this one is A+. Well done, Universal. Now, while we did pick up the twisted tater with the porcini powder, I think we're gonna save the cordyceps corn dog to come back with Max. Yeah, we couldn't deny the twisted taters.
What kind of tater did you get?
I got the sour cream and chive mixed with ghost pepper.
Ooh, I'm trying the brand new infected tater themed to Last of Us. You know Last of Us, you know that mushrooms are the problem.
The enemy?
Yes. But I love mushrooms, and this has got a mushroom sauce as well as a mushroom powder on it. So, cheers. Ooh, there's truffle on there too.
A little sour creamy, a little ghost peppery. Good potatoes.
Is this how it goes? Am I getting infected?
Yep.
You definitely have to like mushrooms and truffle for this one because those are very strong umami flavors and you can definitely taste them. But this is awesome and one of my favorite ones they've ever done.
As far as the sour cream and chive and ghost pepper, it is as advertised. I was attacked by a potato. I don't hate it.
That's what the Last of Us theme is. Just attacked.
Are you good?
I'm infected.
You're turning.
Twisted taters, a Halloween Horror Nights must-have. Mwah.
Cheers.
Hello. Oh! We're gonna walk through this scare zone in a moment, but first we're gonna make a little stop in the tribute store right here. This is a Universal classic to do a tribute store. They moved it back to the New York section, and this year it is themed to being a comic book shop in New York. But before we go in, we gotta look at the best Easter egg of all time. Look at this comic book series right here, featuring Earl the Squirrel, the unofficial holiday mascot of Universal Orlando. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I would read an Earl the Squirrel comic book series. Would you?
Spooky Tales with Earl.
Spooky Tales with Earl. Look at, oh my God, and it's Earl with Gurg the Llama. That's also an Easter egg that Universal hides in all of their tribute stores. His name is Gurg instead of Greg as a nod to one of the creatives. Do you think he's going to steal the moon? His mom will be very proud. This is a vampire-free establishment. No exceptions. That's good to know because there's a lot of them right outside. Oh look, there's an Earl the Squirrel nod too. And I love that up on the shelf you've got a lot of your classic monsters. You've got King Kong, you've got Phantom of the Opera, Creature from the Black Lagoon. I'm telling you, if you come into these rooms and just look around, you will find a ton of stuff. The curator, he was an HHN mascot. Oh, and there, speaking of HHN mascots, there's Jack the Clown, probably the most famous one of all. All right, we enter room 1, and our story is Grave Consequences. Ooh, spooky.
Good evening. Welcome to tonight's first tale of terror.
It's like Tales from the Crypt, which there are nods to over at Mummy. This is cool.
This looks like a Scooby-Doo villain.
Scooby-Doo-Doo. This is so cool in here. Of course, at its core, the tribute store is a store, so they've got a bunch of the merchandise from this year, which is all really, really good. There is stuff with every house logo on it. There's, of course, specific stuff to Vecna and Last of Us and Chucky and all the different houses. There's stuff with Lil Boo on it, who's the cutest mascot of Halloween Horror Nights, if I ever did say so. Look at that hat. Look at this succulent. Do I need that? Oh, there's a Dr. Oddfellow one with all the different scare zones. Now, I will say the store's pretty crowded right now. It's in the middle of the event. If you come later in the event, it'll be less crowded. And if you come during the day, it'll be less crowded, which is fun that this is open during the day. If you don't want to come to Halloween Horror Nights, but you still want to get a little bit of spooky fun, you can pop in here. Moving into room 2, which is very fun. It has a nod to Boris Schuster, who's a private detective who has his office near Finnegan's. Oh my gosh, and there's a Finnegan sign over by where like the Blues Brothers plays here. And he's been the host of a couple houses throughout the years. I'm telling you, the lore and backstory of Halloween Horror Nights and these different rooms and all the houses and scare zones, it's amazing. But we are in his detective agency. The fact that they made it look like it's cartoon raining in here, this is awesome. Found some of the Last of Us merch. We've got a t-shirt, a sign, a cup, a coaster. Same t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt. Ooh, I really like the cups. I might be grabbing one of those and the Stranger Things cup. We need more cups. Here's the first Stranger Things stuff I'm seeing. Surferboard Pizza visor, t-shirt, gummies, also Dustin's thinking cap, and a sweet fanny pack. Ooh, and Stranger Things, more. We've got a jean jacket, patches, earrings, headband. I'm not gonna spend forever doing this because there's people behind us wanting to see and I don't want to take up too much time. We've also got a water bottle, a blanket, a shot glass. Oh my God, is that the Creel house? What? That's a cool shirt. That is a niche shirt, and there's the cup I want. Wow, so much good stuff. Alan, I found our Halloween costumes. You can be the Demogorgon, and I'll be 11.
This is all strangers.
No? What if I got it for Kronk? Kronk would wear it. Kronk would be a Demodog. Think of how cute it'll be. Coming soon to your Instagram, Demodog Kronk. But also, look at the detail in here. Look at the floor. It looks like it's raining. Oh my gosh, they put a sewer system in here. That's a huge Universal Easter egg, is all over the park. Whenever you find sewage systems, it's themed to wherever you are. So they even put it in here. This is so cool. Through the hallway, we pass comic books, which guests can pay to get their picture on, and then they hang it up in here. Our next story is Pay Up, and we are at Jim's Diner. This looks like it's gonna be where our bakery case is. Inside the bakery case, you've got a bunch of themed desserts to the different IP. We've got a bunch of Stranger Things macarons, a Bat Slayer cake jar with Eddie Munson, different cookie balls, Chucky s'more, Chucky trifle cake, Chucky whoopie pie, different cookies, Bloody Brain cheesecake, Hellfire Club cupcake, and Coffin Brownie. Alan, I really want this Chucky sweater. Look at all the Chucky merchandise. I'm gonna get that sweater. I need it for Horror Nights Hollywood, where it's a little chillier. Gonna skip the treats in here for now, just because we're gonna try more unique treats out and about, and they're all very cute, but basically the same as they have for every other tribute store. Speaking of which, the Jurassic Park tribute store is still open, since this one's back in the New York area. That one's still open over by Horror Makeup Show, which is fantastic, highly recommend. And here's our last room. It smells delicious in here. I wish they would candle this. And you've got a few more goodies to look for, and this is where your checkout is. Highly recommend coming into the tribute store whenever there is one at Universal. Their creative team spends so much time and effort. Even if you don't want to buy anything, come in, look at the details, look at the Easter eggs. And now we're back out into the fog. Headed into our next scare zone. This is Vamp 69. The story of Dr. Oddfellow goes, he and his vampire army descended upon a music festival in 1969, which is why you've got this bumpin' soundtrack and also nightmares. So we can do it. And watch out for actual Dr. Oddfellow while you're in here. Ah! I did not realize he was a scare actor. Woo! Look at the band. Oh my God! Hi! He was so close to me. That's Dr. Oddfellow. You can tell by his face. He's so scary. Oh my God, I lost Alan. I lost Alan. I'm alone. I'm alone. I lost Alan. I lost Alan. Oh my God, I will. Hello. Oh. Alan. Alan. I lost you. You just left me alone in the purge, basically. Pro tip, just talk to them. It will be somehow less scary. Not really. I don't know, if you just talk to them. Yeah. Like, what's this guy up to? I think he's, hello. Oh, I think he's cooking. Ow! I don't want to eat that. Oh, I can't, I'm sorry.
Up next, we are headed into Shipyard 32, another one of the scare zones here at Halloween Horror Nights. This is where Dr. Oddfellow stores some of his horrors. And if you are a fan of Halloween Horror Nights past, you might see some familiar creatures in here like chupacabras or tooth fairies. Oh, this looks like a delight. Okay. Feels unsafe. You know, I don't want to cast a wide net, but that feels like trafficking. And Dr. Oddfellow seems like a bad guy.
What was your first clue that he's not a good guy?
That. Next up, we are headed into the Halloween Horror Bar, where they have a number of signature drinks and a couple of eats.
Now watch this! Preguntas?
Where are the skeletons?
David S. Pumpkins is his own thing.
All right, well, we just saw David S. Pumpkins, so that was a little weird. And as we wait in line for our next beverage, I should tell you there are some attractions that do remain open throughout Halloween Horror Nights. Now, some might close earlier than the event ending time. Those attractions are Transformers The Ride 3D, Harry Potter Escape from Gringotts, Men in Black, Alien Attack, Hollywood Rip Ride, Rocket, and Revenge of the Mummy. Also, if you have Express Pass for Halloween Horror Nights, you can use those on those attractions as well. Now, that's not something that I'm looking to do, mainly because I want to spend a lot of my time eating these delicious eats, having some drinks, and enjoying these houses. But if you do want to ride these attractions at night, it is worth checking out if you want to. I picked up the Lacto Cooler, which was a spin on the Ghostbusters High C flavor Ecto Cooler, which explains why this beer tastes a little bit like a sour popsicle. And while it had some nice wheat flavors and a bit of a sour taste, it was fun, but I wouldn't have to pick it up again.
And my current Chucky fascination had me pick up Rotten as Chuck. This is a mixed cocktail with El Humidor tequila, green apple, and cookie butter syrups, lime juice, and jalapeno with basil concentrate and smoked sea salt flakes. And if it sounds like there's a lot of flavors in there, that's because there are. It was mostly sour apple flavor with a little bit of sweetness, little heat from the jalapenos, couldn't really taste the basil, could taste the tequila a little bit. Honestly, it was just too much going on. I personally would not pick up this one again.
We also picked up the Lil Stevie feta and spinach stuffed pretzel. And to be honest, I don't need to pick this one up again. The pretzel was pretty dry. There was a whole lot of spinach, and I wish there was just a bit more feta. This one made me sad.
All right, well, that pretzel might have been pretty mid, but you know what isn't? The Death Eaters. For the first time ever in Diagon Alley. I tried to see them last night, but I went too late. So we're headed in there now a little bit before 9:30 because they should still be here. From what I understand, they don't have any set times. However, they're doing a little pop-up before the park officially closes for guests that are not coming for Halloween Horror Nights. You might be able to see them towards the latter part of the park hours. And then they should be out in Diagon Alley before 11-ish, I was told. Again, no set times, but I'm so excited to see the Death Eaters roaming the streets. Ugh. If this land is amazing during the day, it is sensational at night. I don't think that's dramatic. Looking for Death Eaters. There's signs everywhere. Death Eater has called us. Oh, the capography though, I gotta say, is impressive. It's amazing. I'm being taken. I've been taken.
Ace, have you been turned away? I've been turned away.
Amazing.
That's really cool. I'm crying over Death Eaters now, so.
Are we really shocked?
That's
any
where
of
we're
us?
at.
Any of us?
It's just the music, and they're so cool. And this land is so immersive and beautifully themed that to then add the element of the Death Eaters, especially in Nocturne Alley, ooh, it's spooky.
Oh, and listen, I don't know much about wand integrity, but the amount of wand usage I saw.
I got called up at one point, and I was very scared, but also felt comforted by the presence of the other Death Eaters. Whew. It's definitely crowded in here during this time. Now, I did run into some friends who said that at the beginning of Horror Nights, when most people go rope drop the houses, it's very, very quiet in here for the first few Death Eater sets. So maybe if you have Express or you're doing a tour or something, you could come in here early and then do the houses later. Otherwise, I would say probably closer towards 11, maybe?
The closer it gets to when the Death Eaters decide to retire is likely the best opportunity to come and engage with them a bit. It's a bit of, it's not tomfoolery. What's a Death Eater version of tomfoolery?
It is tomfoolery because it's like Tom Riddle, get it? It's a Voldemort joke.
I was unintentional, but I'm going to own that. Tomfoolery.
Also, if you can get Death Eater tattoos like ours are from Amazon, they sell them here. They are expensive, but you can order some off Amazon. The Death Eaters like that. If you bring your wand, you can duel with them, which is really fun. And most importantly, I love that the Death Eaters do leave, so the last few hours of the event, you can still get the beautiful empty Diagon Alley, which I love so much. But, all right, enough with Diagon Alley. We got more food to eat, more scares to explore. Working our way through the park to hit a few more eat spots and maybe walk into a house or two. Do want to point out that back at the Fear Factor Stadium right here is the show. It's called Nightmare Fuel Revenge Dream. It plays several times a night. There's no filming in there, so I can't show you the show, but it's actually really good. It's very sexy, so keep that in mind. Content warning for a different reason compared to all the gore in the houses, but it's got some really cool effects, great dancing. It does fill up quick, so I'd get there early, at least probably 30, 45 minutes early if you're here on a busy night. I really like the show. That said, I would prioritize the houses over it. However, if you've got Express Pass or you're coming multiple times, I would see it at least once. Alan.
Yes.
Our tickets have Express Pass on them.
Yes.
Do you want to go see the clickers?
I would like to go see Joel and Ellie, but sure, if the clickers are there, I'll see them too.
Okay. Gonna take a little eating break for a moment, and we're gonna pop into the Last of Us house. Now, we can't film in there again because it's not media night or anything, but we'll make sure Alan gives you his full thoughts. Are you scared?
Yeah.
Last of Us is definitely one of the most popular houses this year, along with Stranger Things, which I would say takes number one without question. My recommendation, if you're not going to pay for Express, which I understand it gets very, very expensive, is to do the Stay and Scream or the Scream Longer. This is a special ticket you can add on as long as you have a Horror Nights ticket for that night, and it allows you to come into the park at 3 o'clock. And then from 5 to 6:30, which is after the park closes at 5, before the event officially kicks off at 6:30, you can wait in a Stay and Scream zone. There are several around the park. You have to pick which one means the most to you, so you can stay in the one up by New York if you want to do Stranger Things. You can stay in the one back this way if you want to do Last of Us. But basically, you get to stay in this zone. They have a couple food booths open, and then they open the lines to those houses, and you can get into those houses at much shorter waits than, say, the 120 minutes that Stranger Things is posted at right now. Personally, I would do Stay and Scream for Stranger Things, try and knock out Stranger Things, Yeti, Dueling Dragons, all right when those start opening up. But that is the best way to get the most done if you're not going to do Express. Those are my clicker noises.
Oh, wow.
Are you scared?
Nailed it. Yeah, it's so scary.
Yeah. Here we go. Woo! We endured and survived.
That was so good.
Okay. I love that we were able to film in the houses last night to be able to get footage. But when I wasn't distracted by looking through a lens to make sure I was capturing the right footage, that house is a nightmare.
I think they just did such a good job portraying some really iconic scenes from the game.
Yeah, wow.
Oh my,
The stores?
Oh my, yeah.
The bloater?
I'm so glad that they brought the spores. It's so
Oh,
good.
that's such a cool house.
But they also really did a really good job of including a sense of touch. Not from the scare actors,
No.
but from the setting
Well, I hated it,
around you.
but yes.
So good.
The clickers got me multiple times. I'm super excited. We're gonna come back and do a trio coast to coast where we do here and Hollywood in the same video, and I'm so excited for Max to see this house. He's gonna freak out. We're also doing the behind the scenes unmasking the horror tours where you get to walk through the houses with the lights on. So I'm excited to see all the details, so you can look forward to that as well. But I don't know about you, but I need another snack, maybe a drink, to lower my heart rate.
That was so good.
Woo! Look for the light. Couple of things I want to point out back here by ET. Across the way here, right in front of Animal Actors on stage, this is another Twisted Tater booth. So if you didn't want to wait in the line over by the Last of Us booth at the front, you could go there. Also, here at the Kid Zone Pizza Company, you can find another HHN staple. This is where pizza fries are going to be this year. They've got regular pizza fries, vegan pizza fries, and the s'mores pizza fries. These are a classic. I will definitely be eating these this season. It's basically French fries with mozzarella cheese, pizza sauce, sausage. They are delicious, but they've got a pretty long line and saving room for some new things this year. But put those on your HHN list. And I think we have another scare zone to walk through to get to our next eat. Our next scare zone is Jungle of Doom. So in the timeline of Dr. Oddfellow, this is the oldest story. Basically, Dr. Oddfellow goes to this jungle, and it's here that he finds the emerald stone that he puts on top of his cane, the Cane of Souls, which is how he steals your soul. So this is the creepy, spooky jungle. And look at all the bats up there. It's a nightmare. Hello. Look at that one. That's something. Oh my God. I hear the Megans. I can't see anything right now, but I'm smelling in that sweet, sweet fog. Hello. Hello. Oh. Oh, there's the stone. That guy has the stone. Oh, passing by the Megan horde.
Very small.
They're very small. Well, they're robots. Much like the Death Eaters, there's no set times for the Megans. They clearly show up here by Mel's Die-In, and they also showed up across from Fast and the Furious last night, so it could be either of those places.
Oh, great. So I never know where the Megan horde is.
You never know where the killer robots are going to be.
That's, wow.
Comforting.
I hate that.
We are passing the icon that is the Mel's Die-In. Mel's is currently closed, but not to worry. Right across the way is the Mel's Die-In kiosk booth, temporary location, whatever you want to call it. and they've got a few more tasty eats we want to try.
Stopped by Mel's Mel's Drive-In Eats and Treats and picked up the Peanut Blutter Burger, which is a smash burger with peanut sauce, raspberry jelly, cheddar cheese, shaved onions, jalapeno bacon, and cherry peppers on a vampire bun, as well as some confetti battered cookies, which are battered and fried Oreos dusted with powdered sugar. And these are fried with cake batter, so that's gonna be super sweet. Exciting.
I don't always eat sweet things, but when I do, it's an Oreo deep fried in cake batter. Yeah, that's delicious. It's a warm Oreo. The batter tastes kind of like funnel cake, kind of like cake batter. It's obviously incredibly sweet. You could get this at a county fair near you, probably. It's fun, it's shareable because you get 4 of them in the serving. I like it.
Alrighty. The Peanut Blutter Burger. Is this a pepper? It is. Let's put that in there. Cheers. It's not gonna blow you out of the water, but it's all, like, listen, I'm not gonna turn this away either. Good bacon, crispy bacon on top. What really sets it apart is the contrast of that sort of spicy, vinegary pop of the pepper and the raspberry jam. And I gotta tell you, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I really do like peanut butter on a burger. I think that some of the nuttiness and the richness of the peanut butter helps complement a lot of the flavors you're gonna get from the beef. I enjoy it. The addition of the jam is nice. Do I have to have it? No, but here, I don't hate it. Up next, we are headed into the dark Zodiac scare zone. This is where Dr. Oddfellow has gathered all the darkest representations of the Zodiac. So when you're walking through here, try to find yours and find out what your dark side looks like. We're gonna look for ours for sure. Malls, Sagittarius, myself, Leo.
Where's Sagittarius? Not you. Over there. Thank you.
Hi, Molly.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
Oh, my goodness. Hello. Keeping an eye out for Leo. Oh, the fog is very helpful, yes. Ah. Hi. Oh, lovely that is. Wowzers, okay. Yeah. Well, there's Sagittarius. Hello. Oh, okay. Oh, good. This seems like an omen of ill will and death. Oh, yes, that is Leo, yes. Leo looks stunning. Very regal, Leo. Okay, well, we survived that one. Got to see both the dark sides of our particular zodiac sign, and now we are returning to Dr. Oddfellow's collection of horrors in the hopes that Dr. Oddfellow himself speak of the devil. There he is. Oh my. Oh, there are the zodiac signs. All right, we're standing in front of Minions with a very different vibe than the last 2 scare zones in a row we went through.
We're here to steal the moon. Just kidding, we're here to rank the scare zones from our least favorite to our most favorite. 5 different scare zones, all great, all fun and themed to Dr. Oddfellow.
All right, what's your top 5?
All right, from least favorite to most favorite, I love that they're all connected and have the Dr. Oddfellow story, but number 5 is Dr. Oddfellow's Collection of Horrors. We didn't see the main stage show part, but it's the least exciting to me. Number 4 is Shipyard 32. Number 3 is Jungle of Doom. Number 2 is Dark Zodiac, and number 1, by a landslide, Vamp 69.
Interesting. Largely the same. We flip around numbers 4 and 3. So number 5 for me is Dr. Oddfellow's Collection of Horrors. Number 4 for me is going to be The Jungle. Number 3 for me is Shipyard 32. number 2 is Dark Zodiac, and number 1 is, again, I mean,
You can't beat Van 69.
Can't beat Van 69.
It's such a fun vibe with the fun 60s music playing, and then also the murder. So, you know, there's
yeah,
that.
that's what normal people say.
But I love the scare zones.
But also the murder.
You know, go check the murder out. That's why you're here.
There are more snacks on our must-try list. However, before we consume them, we have to scare up an appetite. And there are 3 houses very close together here. We have Stranger Things, Yeti, Campground Kills, is that what it is? And Dueling Dragons. Oh, I feel like that's kind of an underrated or unsung one for me. Just, warlocks are so cool. But anyway.
Which one do you want to go on?
Stranger Things. Let's go to Hawkins.
Are you excited? Yeah. Alan, quick pop quiz. Who's your favorite Stranger Things character?
Dustin, ready. Yours?
Steve the Hare Harrington, Dustin, 11. I like Nancy. I mean, you gotta love Eddie. How can you not like Max?
You're naming the cast.
Everyone but Mike. And Jason. What did you think? Best house at HHN ever of all time, forever?
It was so good.
So good.
It was iconic. Here's the thing, Stranger Things for me isn't like jump scare scary, but that was just so nice to live through those iconic scenes.
It feels like you were literally immersed into season 4, and what I love, I've been lucky enough to walk through that house 3 times now. Every time people are cheering at the scenes you want them to cheer. They're cheering for 11, they're cheering for Dustin and Eddie. And also, there was a Demogorgon at the end that was not there yesterday,
Yeah.
and it scared the mess out of me.
Molly, I feel like at this point Molly would have learned. We leave the house and she looks at me, she goes, wasn't it great? And I was like, there's no shot we're done.
And then a Demogorgon came out of like, when we were done. We were done with the house.
We weren't done. There was a Demogorgon still waiting for you.
Also, just a friendly reminder that even though if you have Express Pass, it doesn't mean immediate access. We've done 2 houses tonight, the 2 most popular houses. We've still waited like 20 minutes, which is obviously less than the hour, 2 hour plus queues that they often have. But just keep that in mind when you purchase Express. That said, I think more food is calling our name.
Yes, always.
I'd like to introduce you all to someone. Meet my child. Hi, Chucky.
Hey, you wanna play?
Hi, Chucky.
I'd like to be hugged.
Hi, Chucky. This is a popcorn bucket, believe it or not. This is the most bizarre popcorn bucket I've ever seen, the most advanced popcorn bucket I've ever seen. He does come with some Flamin' Hot Cheetos popcorn, which you can also buy separately. And the team member said I could get free refills since I bought the Chucky of this popcorn specifically. But I had to have this as a new fan of the Chucky show, and also because this is the wildest popcorn bucket imaginable. It's pretty good. It just tastes like slightly spicy popcorn, which I like. I would get this on its own, even without the Chucky, but the Chucky's a fun perk. Also from the Chucky booth, the Good Guys Treats, I picked up the fried to the end popcorn chicken. It comes in a cute little popcorn bucket. It's fried popcorn chicken tossed in Nashville hot sauce, drizzled with ranch, and topped with scallions and chili threads. So let's try it. Ooh. That's actually got some heat. Historically, when Universal puts Nashville hot sauce on stuff, like they used to do a mac and cheese with it, it's actually spicy. This is no exception. The chicken is nice and crispy little bits. It tastes more like the breading than the actual chicken itself, which is both a pro and a con. I like the crispiness from the scallion or the chili as well. This isn't super exciting, but if you like spicy, it's basically spicy chicken nuggets, and it's pretty good.
And down to the other Last of Us booth to get some more Fedra rations. This time I picked up the Left Behind ravioli, which is mini cheese ravioli with marinara, truffle cream, garlic bread, and tempura fried enoki mushrooms. Yeah, this is so good. You have to like truffle, you have to like mushroom. Both of those flavors are incredibly prevalent throughout this dish. But the raviolis are actually nice size with a very decent amount of filling. And there's a really nice textural contrast with the fried mushrooms alongside the ravioli pasta. So I'm a big fan of this. Very, very, very rich and flavorful. especially when you're thinking about a food ration. Also, these cans, they're for you to keep. You can take those home. So if you also want to mount on your wall a monument to surviving a fungi zombie apocalypse, you can.
Also, at the Last of Us booth that Alan went to, they're supposed to have a scotcheroo called a Fedra ration, but it's the dessert. Unfortunately, they were out of it, which I'm really bummed by because scotcheroos are similar to a Rice Krispie treat, but they've got like a butterscotch flavor to them and chocolate. They are something that my aunt makes that I'm obsessed with. In fact, when I went to Iowa like a month ago, she taught me how to make them for the first time, and I was so excited to see them on a menu because I feel like people don't know about scotcheroos, but they're sold out. So if you're here, I tried one at the media event, and it was very tasty. If you like a Rice Krispie treat, get a Fedra ration scotcheroo. I'll be getting one next time we're here. Hopefully they won't sell out. I've turned him off, but yet I'm still afraid he could murder me. But in the meantime, we have our last 2 feedings here. We divided and conquered. I went to the Surfer Boy Pizza from Stranger Things and picked up the Surfer Boy Hawaiian Pizza, which is a French bread style pizza with crispy Spam, pineapple chutney, jalapeno, scallions, and mozzarella. Because again, as Argyle says, you gotta try before you deny. I also picked up the Yuri's Favorite. This is chocolate cake with peanut butter mousse and Reese's Pieces. Again, a nod to Yuri, the character from Stranger Things. Not much cake, it's mostly the mousse and the Reese's Pieces, so I'm excited to try those.
And I swung by the campground and picked up the bloody campground poutine, which is crispy fries topped with Asian-inspired gravy, char siu roasted pork, cheese curds, scallions, and crispy chilies.
Good pizza. That's legitimately delicious. They're toasting it fresh right there and handing it to you. I like that it's got a little bit more complex flavor profile than just standard pizza, although the cheese pizza they were handing out looked amazing. I like the little bit of spice from the jalapeno, a little bit of sweetness from the pineapple. The Spam's got a little bit of saltiness to it, and then the French bread itself is perfect. It's nice and springy, but it's got the crispiness on the outside. Honestly, this is delicious, and if you've had a few pumpkin beers, this is the kind of thing you're gonna wanna eat. Now for the Yuri's Favorite. There's not a ton of cake in here, even though that's in the description. It's mostly just the mousse and the candy, but I love peanut butter. It's basically just eating peanut butter frosting with a little crunch from the Reese's Pieces, excuse me. If you're a peanut butter fan, this is a must-have. Plus, you get to keep the little jar. This is probably the best dessert here.
Let's try this poutine. I remember having this at the media event, and I was very impressed by it. And I'm very intrigued to see how it translates. Wow, the portions are just so big with the fries. I gotta say, you're getting a lot of food with this poutine. Yeah. This is very much not your standard poutine. It is clearly Asian inspired, almost a little bit like a Kung Pao style sauce with some roasted peanuts in here as well. The cheese curds are a little salty, saltier than I remember them being. The meat itself, I think is flavored pretty well, but I don't know. It's just not hitting to me the way it hit before. I'm definitely going to come back and get it again because I remember liking it so much at the media event, and this might just have been like an off portion or an off night. Maybe it's that I didn't get as many chilies as I did before because I love some spice. But yeah, not my favorite this evening.
We have eaten a lot of Halloween Horror Nights delicacies this evening. What are your treats? Not tricks, what are your treats?
My treats are going to be the ravioli rations.
Oh, sure.
From Fedra.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed Surfer Boy Pizza.
It's delicious pizza.
So tasty. And I also love Yuri's Favorite. We're going to double dip in Stranger Things.
That's a really good dessert. That's definitely the best dessert here.
What about for you?
Trying not to repeat, I'm going to say the Hellfire Club was awesome. That was really, really good. Going to get that again for sure. Got to give it up for Twisted Taters, my favorite food at the festival every year. I love both the classic with the different shakes, and I love the infected tater as well. Also going to shout out to Pizza Fries, another classic. You got to get that during the Halloween Horror Nights season. And you know what? I liked the butter burger. I like the peanut butter in the burger. I thought it works with the chilies. It was something a little different.
It's nice. Now, okay, what are our tricks then?
Oh,
So what would you not get again?
I would not get the peanut butter smuggler cocktail from the Stellar Bar. It was just too many flavors going on. It was sweet, and it was just not a mixed drink I need to have again.
And for me, I wouldn't get the spinach and feta stuffed pretzel.
That wasn't great.
The pretzel was a dry dough, and there was just so much spinach and not nearly enough feta. Yeah, that was super mid. I wouldn't get that again.
But there's so much to eat and drink throughout Halloween Horror Nights. There's no way to eat and drink at all. Hopefully you saw a few things that you're interested in trying. Also want to shout out that pizza skulls are back. That's another fan favorite. But yeah, the food at this event has elevated over the years, and I'm blown away this year.
Well, friends, that brings us to an end of opening weekend Halloween Horror Nights 2023.
This is my favorite Halloween event of the season, and I honestly think this is the best Halloween Horror Nights there's ever been. Stranger Things, Last of Us, Chucky, all the houses are amazing. The food's been great. The scare zones are so fun, all linked to Dr. Oddfellow. I just love this event so much.
And that's not all. We're going to be going bi-coastal to Halloween Horror Nights in California.
We've got more Halloween fun coming for you, but we also have other ideas. If you want to see things like the Dead Coconut Club, some of the not Mickey's Not So Scary treats at Disney, if you want to see things you can do for Halloween that don't require a special ticket, let us know that down in the comments.
In the meantime, friends, be sure to like the video, subscribe if you are new, follow us on all of our socials, and if you want to join in the conversation, join us on Discord. Those links are all down below.
Until next time, friends, I'm Molly.
I'm Alan.
This is Chucky, and it has been spooky. He's our child now.